Hi travelers, Tara here. We're going to be doing a new moon solar eclipse reading, okay? The new moon will be occurring in Cancer. I just posted up the moon report article. So for those of you who are interested in reading, simply follow the link wherever you follow me. And you don't have to be a member to read this. I'm now opening the moon reports up to the public, so you can simply click on the eye here. That'll take you directly over to the website. On the right hand side of the screen, the menu, find the recent post, and you will see new moon solar eclipse July 2nd, 2019. Okay, so you can read that. What you will want to do is for website members who have your charts. Now, a lot of you are confused about which chart to read because I give you 3 different charts. The natal chart shows who you are at soul level. Those planetary positions never change, right? And so this can you use this chart in a sense to kind of get a better understanding of yourself at a deeper level. The solar chart or the sun sign chart is the one that's used in horoscopes. And this is why, majority of the time you read your horoscope, whatever they tell you is happening doesn't even apply to you. That's just a general one. And I hand it to people because when you put the sun on the first house, that chart does represent you, but it kind of leaves a lot lacking in terms of noticing how things happen for you. The chart that I use for myself, however, is that zero Aries chart. Now, my friend Anne says, I would never give a chart. She's an astrologer. I would never do a zero Aries chart for a client. Well, I guess it would depend on basically what the client is coming to you for in terms of the astrology reading. But I find, and this is just for my own personal use, so I'm not telling you guys to chuck out the other 2 or whatever the case may be. But I have found in my own experience in watching the transits across my chart that it gives me more accurate information in terms of challenges that I may be faced with or something beneficial that might come about. Not saying that the astrology actually makes things happen, but typically it's going to give you the theme of what is happening, what may be coming back around for you, where you can find your luck, where your challenges are. And I really like using that chart a lot. So that's the one that I use for myself. So in a minute, or maybe sometime later today, for website members, I'm going to post up your important astrological dates. So you can find those particular degrees, and the degrees are the numbers behind. So let's say if you got your chart and you see it says, you got the glyph for the sun and it says 3 degrees 11 minutes. Let's say Cancer. Okay, those are your factors. When I ask you what your factors are, I want to know what planet you have, what house it falls in. Is it the first house? Is it the second house, the third house? And what degrees they fall at. Because typically when you have things like new moons and eclipses, we even have Mercury going retrograde, Mars is making moves, Venus is making moves. And so when they make moves, they move across the degrees of the chart. And if there's an exact match with the numbers of the transit with what's in your chart, I call that a ping. So this typically will activate things in your chart for you. This influence may last just a few seconds, but it could also last through a week, a day, a month, all the way out to a year. Now we're dealing with eclipses, and eclipses are game changers, and they fall in, basically you'll get I think it's 3 eclipses a year, might be 2 eclipses. Sometimes it's 6 eclipses. I've seen it. One year we had 6 eclipses. And they come in pairs. So first you'll have the first eclipse, and then that cycle ends. There's a 2-week time frame, and that cycle will end, okay, with another eclipse. So typically there's a solar eclipse, and then there's a lunar eclipse, okay? So they're bookend. Now, in between these eclipses, We have Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Leo. We also have Mars, I think, is moving into, I don't know if he's moving into Aquarius, I'm not exactly sure. And Venus is making moves. And so you want to know where those degrees are, where they fall on your chart. And the one thing about eclipses is eclipses are shadowy. Just think about if you've ever seen an eclipse where, let's say, the sun disappears, right? That's going to be an awesome sight. Well, look at eclipses like that way, sort of like information blackouts. In addition, you've got Mercury going retrograde, so there's that additional factor of information blackout. And it's not a new moon. So this is a time where new moons are where you're supposed to end a cycle and start something new. But now you're starting something new and you're kind of doing it in the blind, okay? But eclipses can trigger things to happen immediately in your chart. It can happen a few weeks after. It can happen months after. It can happen years after. So basically, eclipses are an opportunity for you to eclipse out a person, thing, and or situation of your life. But if you'll go back and look, find the previous eclipse that fell at those same degrees, this is going to tell you that there's a 19-year cycle closing out. So sometimes you can find healing of things. It may take you 19 years, like me. It took me 19 years to get my veterans benefits, okay? And it's coming to a conclusion pretty much underneath an eclipse. I figure it's going to play out for the last set of eclipses, which I think we're going to have near the end of the year, all right? And so you really don't know how things, I had no idea when I joined the military back in 1985 how that was going to play out through the rest of my life. So here I am. Eclipses are not things to be afraid of. Mercury retrogrades are not anything to be afraid of. This is really about a time of going within, trusting your own intuition, looking over things, reworking things, revising things, revisiting things. You may have people come back from your past. You may have old lovers show up, particularly with Mars in Leo. I think Mars is going to be moving into Leo. That's right. But as I always tell you under Mercury retrogrades, that person may come back, but they're not going to stick around. And so if this is an opportunity, if you want to cleanse that person or that energy, or you want to eclipse that situation out of your life, you can use the eclipses to do so. You may find that you have absolutely nothing to say to the person, or you may feel that you want to get some things off of your chest, okay? Do be cautious with that Mars and Leo energy, because it can sometimes have you acting from ego-based, pride-based, emotional basis, and you want to be cautious with what you're saying, what you're communicating, and how you're doing it. But you can positively get some things off your chest. So because this is the eclipses and the new moon are falling in Cancer, this may have to do with home, family, children, issues of security and safety, property, mothers, whatever your challenge is. So with that said, I'm going to open up the Fantastical Creatures Tarot. With me, I have La Vida Sibila, Endovina Sibila, the playing cards, and I have also pulled out the Visconti Tarocchi. Okay, and the Visconti Tarocchi simply means the small tarot. Okay, I didn't buy the big deck of cards because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to work with the deck. But I don't use it very often, and I really do like it. I'm going to be ending the reading with a Psychic Oracle Tarot. And we will see about that. Now, the last announcement that I'm going to make, and I will be sending out a newsletter later today, tarot card members, website members, it is going to be impossible for me to get the individual and the romance readings up for July. I can't even tell you what has happened to me with the house. I found one, then I had to cancel the sale, and now I found another one. And so I'm in the process of waiting for the inspections to come back for the second house. Mercury retrograde, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to pack, but now I've had to stop because I literally have no room to put my stored boxes. So just kind of bear with me. What I am going to do for you in the website is I'm going to put some readings into the wildcard gallery. So just look at these like special membership open readings, but they will be in the wildcard gallery. Okay, that's going to be a lot easier for me to manage in terms of the scope and the size of what I need to be doing, as opposed to trying to do 24 readings here and all of that stuff. So I'll re-say that again in a newsletter. So get ready to get your newsletter. If you want to sign up for my newsletter, you can again click on the I here. That'll take you directly over to the site. You'll see it at the top. I've got so much stuff that's coming. I just got to get from where I am now to my new place. I actually have a house that's going to allow me to have an office, and that's going to open up a world for me. Okay, a dedicated place to do my work. So with that being said, let's go ahead and please keep in mind this is a general reading and the messages are not going to resonate with everyone. So take what you can, disregard what you cannot. If you think you'd like a reading, I'm not too busy to help people. So if you guys think you need a reading, get on in there and pick the reading package of your choice, and we'll get it scheduled. I just get the sense that many of you do need some kind of something right now, and that's why I'm here. I'm here to help. Because right now, everything's on hold for me. Oh, well. 7 of Pentacles has flown out. So let's see what the new moon, the start of new projects, but with this eclipse and this Mercury retrograde, have to, what influence it may have. There's the Hermit. There's the Two of Swords. There's the Two of Wands. Wow. 2 earth elements, an air, and a fire. I have 2 twos. Okay, that's important when the numbers repeat themselves. A coin and a major arcana. There's a King of Pentacles. Right, because these eclipses are cutting across the Cancer-Capricorn axes. Cancer sits on the 4th house, Capricorn is on the 10th house, and they are opposite each other on the wheel. On the website, if you'll type in astrological axes, AXIS or AXES plural, you're going to find an article on the axes: Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, Libra, Taurus, Scorpio. There's a whole article on that. Here's the Emperor. There's our Martian energy. That represents the sign of Aries, right? The 9 of Swords. The 3 of Swords. I get the sense for some of you someone is returning after a long absence. If not physical absence, then it is time. Okay? And the quality of time right now, I can't speak for you guys, but the quality of time for me, as I am experiencing it, and time does have a quality. I feel as though I'm standing stock still and everything else is rushing on around me. Okay? So, given what I just said and the way I explained it, you need to stop and think about the quality of time that you are experiencing. All right? I think that may help some of you. There is the Three of Wands. Not bad, not bad. Now, what is our advice card, or what is over the whole reading? The Three of Cups. There's our Cancer card. Now, so I have 1, 2, 3 swords, 2 coins, 1, 2 major arcana, a wands, no, and 2 wands. Isn't that interesting? 2 wands and 2 twos. Okay. So I have a 2. I have 2 threes as well. A 2, a 3, a 4. The Emperor is a 4. I do not have a 5. Oh, well. I also have 2 9s. The Hermit is a 9. And 2 twos. 1 7. 7 of Pentacles started out. So my repeating numbers: 2 twos, 2 threes, 2 9s. Okay. Wow, that's interesting. Almost 3. If I want to include that 3 of Cups, I have cups, I have wands, and I have swords. The only thing that's missing in that set of 3 would be the 3 of coins or pentacles. Right off the bat, 2 twos are speaking to some type of partnership. Okay. Now, business, familial, romance, just partnerships. That's the general meaning. Okay. But 2s also represent a crossroads. They represent an opposition, like our Capricorn and Cancer. So this could be the idea that you are kind of at tug of war, opposed within yourself about something. Okay. You're of 2 minds about something. You've got 2 choices to make, 2 decisions, 2 options. You're at a crossroads, a decision that's going to have to be made. Maybe you're not too keen on either one of those. But 2 twos can also speak to the idea that there is someone opposed to you. In other words, you're trying to do something, but you got people telling you no. Or you got people telling you, they're trying to naysay you, or they're giving you only the worst case scenario, and quite frankly could be working your nerves, right? That's the 2 twos. A partnership. 2 threes tell me that a decision is made to go ahead and do something. 2 things coming together to make a third thing. Okay. I want to give it to you straight. Here we go. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing. Hold on, y'all. There we go. I got so many windows open. I don't want to clear all of them. My website's running slow. We can't seem to figure out why. 2 twos. Harmonious changes and communications and the need to make a choice. 2 of Swords, 2 of Wands. 2 threes. One of you are craving more change and excitement. There's our 2 threes, 3 of Swords, 3 of Wands. And then we have 2 nines. One of you needs to spend some time alone. That's why I said when I laid the cards down, I just get the sense that this is somebody, it's somebody that you know. He shows up as a King of Pentacles, so we're looking at a Taurus, a Virgo, and or a Capricorn. If not those specific signs, okay, then what we're looking at is somebody who has a lot of money, has a lot of property, maybe a business advisor, could be a banker, could be an accountant, such as that. Somebody who knows how to handle money. I feel What I'm not getting is I'm not getting that there has been necessarily anything quote unquote nefarious or intentionally hurtful, harmful, or spiteful, particularly with this Three of Swords. The energy that I'm getting is that the person has disappeared. You have not heard from them, no matter what type of partnership this is, because they themselves have been dealing with something. It may be a health issue. It could just simply be that the person needed to get some things straight in their life. Okay? Now, this Three of Wands represents the idea of the sun with the second decan of Aries. I don't have my decans here because that gives me the time. Oh, Jesus. Let me go see if I can find a book. Okay. Because I'm packing. So hold on. Maybe I didn't pack the book. The ones with my decans in it. So hold on. Maybe I did. Let me see. Let me check my bedroom. Holy moly, I think I packed up the book. Well, I can't tell because I've got books everywhere, all scattered out. Yeah, I think I packed it, which sucks, really. I think I packed it already, and I can't believe I did that. But let me just do a quick Google search. Y'all. If y'all came to my house, if I invited y'all to my house, y'all would be like, "What the hell does somebody do with all of those books?" Well, I read them. That's what I do. I read them, and I'm gonna see if I can get some kind of timing. Let's see. Between March 24th, no, that's the first decan. The second decan is March 31st to April 9th. All right, so this is a sub-influence of Leo with the sun. That might give you some kind of timing. This could be the idea that you had something going on during that time frame and it kind of broke down, and now it's going to come back around. Okay, hold on. Hannah? I don't know, I thought my daughter was up. Okay. Hannah! Oh, there you are. You want to come make you some breakfast? Okay, I won't be long, I promise. You can, I can stop. Okay. She's so funny. All right. This is an interesting line here. Two swords, two of wands, three of wands. So this tells me that after some delay, after perhaps some confusion, some crossed wires, some things that maybe you gotta go back and redo or you gotta undo, that kind of thing, the situation is going to move forward. All right. Now, when I say it's going to move forward, it doesn't necessarily mean that, yeah, this person's going to come back and everything's going to go exactly the way you wanted it to, right? Because nothing that I see in the cards is set in stone. Why? Because people have decisions and choices. They can make their own mind up about things. But when I say to you that I feel that whatever the underlying issue is surrounding the situation, that it wasn't done like intentionally to harm you or intentionally to, to be just like, shady. I feel that with this particular king in the center, there is some sadness here about how this situation has played out, some forlornness, and the person themselves, they may feel a bit broken. Okay, so go back to that opening statement where I was telling you this might be an opportunity to heal a situation, a thing, a person. It may be a way to eclipse a person, a situation, a thing out of your life. I think that applies on both ends. Now, what I'm going to do is read to you the meanings of these cards. Close out that window. Then I'm going to take a look at this damn thing. Hold on. Here we go. The meanings of the cards. So we will start with the coins, the Seven of Pentacles. And again, this may have some kind of financial aspect to it, but as well, the coins represent the doing of something. It's the physical plane, the material world, the third dimension. Okay? It says you will gain financially from your hard work. With the Hermit, who is a 9, you need a period of peace and quiet and a time to contemplate decisions. Do not make hasty choices, but seek advice from a knowledgeable, trusted person. It also says if your health is or has been poor, it points to a much-needed period of rest and recuperation. I think that this person is trusted, but I think there's some kind of disconnect here. Okay? Two of Swords. There is a stalemate where neither party nor side has the power to win. The underlying tension will not allow anything to change for some time. There are these two twos, the Two of Wands. This could even be the idea that nobody's saying anything because they don't know what to say or they're fearful of saying something. You know what I'm saying? Look at the imagery on that. He's drinking water, but there's this snake. Like somebody's fearful to make a move. They don't know what to do. And I think that could work on both sides. Two of Wands. You are awaiting the results from something you have started. Focus your energy and will to fulfill your desires, but be certain that the end result is what you really want. This could be the idea that you work so hard to gain something. You got all of this great stuff now, this thing, you're sitting in a good place in terms of security, but yet you're still lacking something and you don't quite know what that is. Okay? The King of Pentacles. You don't have to be dealing with the person. This king of coins can be you even. It says that if this person if this card represents a person, the person is wealthy, secure, and experienced at handling money. It says that the appearance of such a man may help you in business, but it also says you can find new meaning and spiritual comfort in nature. So you kind of have these two things of telling you, of saying slow down, don't make hasty decisions, rest, recuperate. And that's some good advice underneath this eclipse and this Mercury retrograde. Because here comes the Emperor. This also tells me that someone is going to make a return in some way, simply because of the way that the card is coming in to the spread. Okay? The Emperor. Good and powerful influences come into your life. Achievement and honor will come through the influence of a strong, supportive male. It says if the surrounding cards are positive, this is a good time for business affairs. But it also warns that if it's surrounded by negative cards, take great care in what you do or say. That's that Mars and Leo energy I was telling you about. Some of you may even be dealing with a Leo person. You know what I mean? Or a fire sign person. 9 of Swords. I just get the idea or the sense that there's some kind of guilt happening here. I just cannot determine where is it coming from and what the source of it is. If you have broken secular or karmic laws, expect to pay the price. Look closely at your plans as something is not to your benefit. Something definitely goes awry here. Here's this 3 of Swords. It says an omen of heartache, sadness, losses, and or possible rejection. This card reveals the pain of separation in a love or any type of relationship. Okay? It's not just love. Sometimes that 3 of Swords will show up just when there needs to be some kind of release, painful though it may be, because it ends with this 3 of Wands. And the 3 of Wands is telling us you are building a firm foundation, but more patience and planning are needed before all of the pieces are in place. Now, what is this thing, our overall energy or advice card over the top of this with this 3 of Cups? It tells us that you have the opportunity to move away from an unproductive emotional situation. Success, abundance, and celebration may soon arrive. You are moving out of a mental fog and into a cycle of seeing things clearly. But either the people that you're dealing with or you yourself, there's something that you haven't seen or some information you haven't gotten, or maybe it's just fear. Don't know. The reason why I say that is underneath that is the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords says, keep aware for a message and an opportunity about money and material gain. It says, but this card can also be an advance notice of a troubling period in your life, especially if you do not see through the illusions. Now, I want to quickly go to see what I can see. I can't look at these 3 cards, the Hermit, the King of Pentacles, and the Emperor. Okay? But I can look at the other pip cards, 7 of Pentacles, 2 of Swords, 2 of Wands, 9 of Swords, 3 of Swords, 3 of Wands, as they relate to the Hermit and the Emperor. Okay? It has like a hot and cold kind of an energy, if that means anything to anybody out there. Don't know. I don't always understand what my guides are showing me. Now, 7 of Pentacles next to the Emperor. Do not be overly concerned if you meet disapproval from your partner or partners and or loved ones. Do not allow it to bother you too much. Sometimes misery loves company. Yeah? 2 of Swords. Nothing about the 2 of Swords. 2 of Swords can sometimes represent the idea of compromise as well. Okay, Two of Wands. With the Emperor, it is a message that opportunities are abound and opportunity is imminent. So establish yourself and set ideas into motion. The time is fruitful, so make the most of it. Even if you don't got all of the information, I try to tell my clients all the time, you can't just stop what you're doing because the planets are doing something weird. Here's another interesting, with swords on all sides. We got sword, sword, sword. We're going to consider that to be on all sides. It is a message to get everything in order, as new energies will be entering your life, and it is to your advantage to be prepared in advance. You are asked to be organized and motivated to commence your project and or long-term goal. Okay? I think some of you may be having difficulty seeing how you're going to do that. But that's an illusion. You don't always have to see how you're going to get it done. You just need to have faith and believe and then work towards that, right? That's about being in the quote-unquote right place at the right time. Yes. Nine of Swords. And that's really a card of worry. And if many of you are worrying, because also the other meaning of the two nines is a house move or change of address. I'll go back and give you the other meaning of the two twos represent a partner, an engagement, and or commitment. Okay. Now I'm going to do these threes. Okay. We're going to look at the Three of Swords. Oh, I'm already in the Three of Swords. Hold on. Okay. Three swords with other swords cards around it is an indication that a close relationship is coming to an end. Two threes, okay, foretell of a small but pleasant surprise, whereas three threes can speak to you about unexpected good luck. You see, you may be of a mind that if I have to leave this job, or I have to break up with my accountant or my banker, or if I got to break up with this person, or whatever the case may be, yeah, that's going to hurt, right? But sometimes you got to experience a little pain in order to get some joy. I don't know if that made any sense what I just said. So you need to kind of look at it the other way. Things don't always turn out the way that we think they will. And that could be that card of worry or fear. I will tell you, with this Nine of Swords here, make sure that everything that you are doing is above board, that you are dealing with people in a fair, honest, and direct manner. Okay, because if not, that's going to come back on you. All right, I'm just not going to lie to you about it. That's what's coming across. Three of Wands. Let's take a look at this. Then we're going to take a look. I want to look at this Two of Swords here. That the Three of Wands tells me nothing next to the Emperor or the Hermit. So, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to use La Vida Civiles. I want to see what this Two of Swords is all about. I also want to look at what this Two of Wands is about using these cards. Then I'm going to pull out the Indovina Civiles and look at this Nine of Swords. Okay? Two of Swords. The stanza, the card of communication, but no one is there. On the Two of Swords. That's the La Nemica. the enemy, the rival, or the person or woman who works in secret. Maybe you guys are enemies now, or maybe you have, come to words that, remember when I said at the beginning, it's almost as though some things have been said, but now nobody kind of knows what to do or how to do about it. That's a thought. It's falling on a thought card. There's the letter. Now, I do have these 2 3s, these 3 3s. It could be there's a third person that is involved in this situation, because it can sometimes mean that. And this is coming up in the future column. Pensiero, meditation and thought. Somebody's contemplating what to do, what to do. Gran consolazione, success achieved after a long time. See that? He's dreaming of love and money and peace and happiness. He's also resting. And the alegria. So this is about spending time with family and friends, or the joy that you get from your family and your friends. Maybe this is the idea of someone trying to figure out how to heal a rift within a group of friends or family. Okay, we're going to put those cards down. I'm going to take the Indovina Sibilas and look at this 9 of Swords. This, like I said, this could be the idea that maybe, you've been having a row with your family or your friends. We did hear that meaning of, don't be too upset if people don't agree with whatever it is that you're doing. I mean, who the hell are you living for, them or you? A lot of times, too, I get people who will come to me and say, well, yeah, I got to think about my kid. This is true. This is true. But if you are the adult, if you are doing something that you're going to feel good about, that is going to bring some kind of value or benefit to your own life, then by extension, your kid is going to get that too. When you are choosing against your own better nature, going against those things that, it's taking away value and it's taking away benefit, then your kid experiences that too. Yeah? Okay. So what are you going to do? A pleasant pastime. That's almost like the Alegria card here. Surprise. Something has flown the coop, so to speak, or got out some kind of way. And infantilism. Now, to me, these 3 cards are saying that I feel that the person, or maybe you, is saying that the joy has been kind of sapped out of your life, right? And you're sad about it. You're heartbroken about it. So it goes back to this. Karmic or secular law. Maybe you did something. Maybe somebody wrote you a nasty letter, or whatever the case may be. Maybe a legal issue, whatever the case may be. Something that they did against the law, right? But really what I'm getting, the energy that is coming off of this is that it's the karmic law. Somebody is very, very sad about the price that they've had to pay, perhaps to have this particular happiness and family with friends, or maybe that they chose one thing over another, or one person over another, and now they realize that it was the wrong thing to do. It really tells me that the sadness here, the joy and the happiness has gone. It's fled. It's flown the coop. I'm going to pull 3 playing cards on this 3 of Swords. Now, it could be that if this is a romantic relationship, maybe while you and this other person were not speaking to each other, maybe they have been seeing other people. Oh, what do you care? What they got to do with the price of tea in China? You need to be taking care of your own shit, right? Okay. Look at that. the Nine of Hearts, the Two of Diamonds, and the Eight of Diamonds. Now, the way this is playing out, this may have to do with the idea of someone who has the love of things. Maybe it is appearances. Maybe it really is finances. Okay? It could also be that idea that they've been looking for love or validation or security in the wrong place. Make sense? There's definitely some kind of financial component here. Now, here's what I'm going to do. Oh, dear God. Y'all see I can't find nothing, so there's no way I know I can do anything. We're going to look at these three playing cards here on this Three of Swords. Heartache, loss, omen, pain of breakup or even rejection. But, is it coming from within yourself, or is it really caused by someone else? But even if it is, quote unquote, caused by someone else, they didn't do anything you didn't allow them to do. Yes? Makes sense? Okay. Nine of Hearts. This is one of the wish cards in the playing card deck. It says it is the happiest card in the deck, the entire deck. It shows that you are growing and developing in all areas of your life, that joy and happiness is richly deserved. That's key. Okay. That you derive pleasure and satisfaction from helping others in some way, but it also can indicate some kind of spiritual growth. Okay. The only thing that can mar the presence of this card is if the person overemphasizes the materialistic part of their life. There's those two diamonds. See that? That's the materialistic plane. Now, it speaks to unexpected good news concerning financial matters. It is likely to come from someone close, and the news will bring joy to both of you. It says that the sum of money involved will not be large, but it will be welcome all the same. And it shows that the client is reaping rewards because of your abilities to deal with people in a harmonious way. Those two twos, a need for harmonious communication and choices. This portends a financial success along with a balanced approach to life. The card says that if you are practical and keep your feet on the ground and not allow success to change you, it says that you'll also be given the opportunity to rest and relax as you are likely to overwork. Remember I said it's like the person's been, maybe they've been doing, maybe it's you. I don't know. Now, that's not going to hold true for everybody that's listening to this reading, so I'm going to give you the second interpretation. The Nine of Hearts is the card of wishes, dreams fulfilled. Okay? Two of Diamonds. And this is where it gets tricky, because it speaks about a business partnership and or a change in a relationship, and could even involve gossip. But this says that there is going to be a new job or a change in a job situation, and it can also portend finding new love. So no matter how this plays out, there's some kind of surprise coming. The situation will move forward, whether you got to leave this individual behind or not. The card that I want to look at now with the Tarochi, I'm going to look at this three cards of combination of cards. The stanza, the, La Namica, and the letter. This could be somebody who's trying to eclipse out an ex in their life. You know what I mean? The Page of Coins. I love these cards. I'm going to end up getting the big one once I move, because I can't buy nothing else. the Ace of Swords. Remember what I told you what was missing? Three of Cups, Three of Wands, Three of Swords. Our Three of Coins has now come out. Yeah, I got it upside down. Our Three of Coins has now come out. Yes. Some kind of news or message, gift, or this could be an opportunity for someone to finally put something to rest by making some kind of agreement or partnership or contractual issue. Okay, if this is about putting an X to the side, maybe there's an opportunity to not only put this behind them, but it may also be that there may be some financial issue involved in this, right? Maybe you are, maybe the person, maybe they are, maybe it's you. You are of two minds about it. Maybe you don't really want to do that. You know, I don't know. Formulate your question for the Psychic Oracle Tarot. I get the sense that whatever this thing is, it is literally like closing a book on one chapter and immediately stepping into the story of a new one. But do you have the courage? Can you see through the illusions? And are you just plain fearful? Here's the card. It is the Tower card. Disruption. And you do keep in mind that Uranus is abound, and they're going to be making all of these eclipses in the new moon and the Mars and the Venus and the Pluto and the Saturn and the South Node and the North Node. They all doing stuff throughout the month of July. A sudden, usually unforeseen disruption or major change is happening or is about to take place. Even if it appears to be a negative experience, it can lead to enlightenment or a total shift in your lifestyle. Look at the big picture. Okay, this is a big picture thing. Whatever this is talking about, it's a big picture thing because it's going to occur or happen or be triggered by this eclipse. In the traditional tarot meaning, this card represents the falling tower that eventually crumbles due to its weak foundation. Whichever part of your life you focus on, this is an opportunity to rebuild with a solid, positive structure to make you or the situation even stronger. There are times when the most difficult situations arise in your life. If you choose to, they can act as a catalyst to heal other areas. They are beneficial because they are truly your greatest teachers. Learn from your past mistakes, accept them, and integrate them into your life as stepping stones. To be forewarned is to be forearmed. This card is telling you something's about to change. This disruption card is a reminder that negative thinking, limiting beliefs, ignoring problematic situations, and risky or careless lifestyles must be addressed so that positive changes can take place. Life has a habit of moving you forward whether you are ready or not. Transformation of your body, mind, and soul can happen if you view this dramatic time or change as an opportunity for growth. Then, in the future, you may look back and be thankful for this opportunity. It's like I said, it's almost like the cards are telling me that even though you may be fearful or you think this is the worst thing that could ever happen, it's not. The Tower is also a liberator. It frees you up from things. The question is, are you willing to just accept whatever the disruption is, right? Do whatever you can, and then step into the new. The Tower is not always something negative. It can be that sudden epiphany. Aha, if I let go of this, that means I can get more of something else, right? That's what I have for you. I hope those messages helped. Website members, stay tuned for the newsletter coming out later on this evening. And until next time, namaste.